Since we've all been quarantined, a lot of us that are resellers have had to kind of pivot a little bit. Well, a lot actually, in our businesses and things. I'm fortunate. I have a garage full of stuff, and I had just moved it here from moving from another city and decided to just start going through my death pile and things like that, like most of us have. But I've also hooked up with a really good online auction, and I've bought several things lately, so I just thought I'd just kind of show you a little bit. I'll probably just do some clips, have to do some start and stop because some of these I've already got listed. But I bought a whole bunch of the milk caps. Let's see if I can do it this way. I don't have a GoPro. I need to get one, don't I? But some of the caps and things, it's lots of these. I've got them in multiples of 20, I believe, that was on each one, 20 or 22. I've got these all listed right now. They're new. They've never been used. They're out of dairies that are up in Ohio. I think it's a couple in Connecticut, Rhode Island, some along the East Coast there. So I've got several of these. Early Dawn, I like that with the cow on it. What's this one? This one's a cream one. I've got some that are cream, some that are milk. Which is essentially about the same thing, isn't it? But a lot of these, depending on where you are, there's a New York one. We've got several New York ones too. Depending on where you are, you might recognize some of these dairies out there. But I've got these listed, and I'm going to send these in a first class, just an envelope. Put a stamp on it and let it rip. Because if it gets lost, I can always replace it for somebody unless I get low on my stock. These are long tail items, but they do sell. People like to decorate with them. They like to use these for checker sets and things like that, which is kind of neat. This one's a chocolate milk one, which I haven't seen much. It's New Jersey one. Osland, New Jersey, I think it said. Little milk one with the baby. Daniel's Farm. You see it had the days of the week on there too. So that's those. Got those. See if I can get around a little bit more, show you a few more things. Let me pause it just a minute. I also got several boxes and envelopes, just tons of them, from this one vendor, and we've kind of struck up a friendship. He's actually about an hour and a half, 2 hours for me, so I could actually go up and pick up there, and we've talked about that. And he's got a great big barn up there he's been selling for years. He's sold for a lot of celebrities near the Nashville area, and so hopefully that will turn into a real good relationship between us. I buy things on the online auction from him, just fair game, for everybody. He puts them out there. But then there's some things that he's talked to me about coming and just buying the whole collection of. So I'm looking forward to that. I was really low on paper items, so got a lot of, let's see if I can just tilt it first. A lot of the old Victorian Valentine's cards, all kinds of little things. Let's see if I can get a good picture. I don't know. Maybe not. I may need to handheld. Let me try that. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Some of these. I'm just going to pull some out. It's just easier with one hand, two hands instead of one hand. This is some of the pop-up ones, the little pop-ups. Of course, they're marked on the bottom. Some are written on, some are not. I've got several little bits and pieces, papers, things like that that I'll try and put together for junk journal lots. If they were much older than this, I'd probably be wearing gloves, but love the old paper. What's that one say? Let's see. It's a calling card, like for a furniture store. Some things have been mounted already, some are not. But I love the old paper. I've always been a person that just, I could sit with a box like this, and probably will sit with this before I ever start listing any of it. And that's glare here. Sorry about that. This garage is great to work in, except when it's not. It's got some great lights, but they get a little out of hand. Another pop-up. That's a Valentine. Do my Valentine. Let's see. I may need to pull this out of the camera. Let me see if I can see what this says. Looks like to Vivian from Pauline. Let's see. It pops up. Some are a little bit better shape than others. Lots of die cast and stuff in here. So got a lot of the calling cards, and of course they've already got these in packaging. I've got to put in an order. I've got to get a whole lot of different sizes of acid-free storage to put these in. Some I'm going to do in lots, some I'm going to do individually. It just kind of depends on what the subject matter is on these. So, like I said, I've got this whole box that's full, and this is probably about 3 auction lots, so it's I probably paid around $50 altogether for that, and the milk tops, $50-$60, something like that. So that's those. Let's see what else I can dig out. So some of these are a little bit more modern, not all of them, but more of these are cards. I do have some pieces in here, but more of these are like postcards. Like this one's a postcard, 1930. See that? Of course, I love the writing that's on it. Isn't that great? You know, it's just special that these things have survived this long. I mean, that's just unbelievable. That's almost 100 years old. I mean, you know, I see stuff like this a lot in my business, but that still amazes me that things have survived like this. And you start wondering where if they survived, where were they? He bought them out, you know, bought out of states and auction houses and things like that up in Ohio and Texas mostly. So, A Joyous Christmas. And then they have a letter in here. Much love, Helen. She was writing to Mary. So it'll be fun to go through these, and she's talking about being at homecoming last year and things like that. What else do we have? We have some that are a little newer. To my Valentine, pray if you love me, have the sand to tell me. Okay. I don't know why that reminds me of Lucy on Peanuts. She doesn't, just where she is. That's a grocery store, but I don't know why it did. Some of these are really pretty. A Heart's Gift. Is this one open? No. It's just a lot of really pretty embossed pieces and different. I may put them into categories and do like a lot of the Christmas ones, the New Year's ones, Hanukkah, things like that. Some envelopes in here, some are still in envelopes. So, of course, it's got the old stamp. And 1927, Hempstead, New York. Some of these, I don't think it's in this stack, but some of them, you know, it would just have their name and town. That was on there because the town was so small. You know, everybody knew where Miss Gertrude lived or whatever. I think this is another. Looks like that one's been cut. So see, something like that, if I get something like that, I'll probably put it in a junk journal lot. If you don't know what junk journals are, people make those up. They have lots of videos on YouTube that you can look through, and it tells you how to make a junk journal, how to make the little pockets to stick these little things in and put little notes on it and things like that. And sometimes they're themed and sometimes they're not, and they're just a really neat craft and writing combination craft. It's something that appeals to my granddaughter, and so some of these I'm going to probably give to her, even some of the older ones, because I think that would be really cool that she could have some authentic ones in there. Love the little Valentines. They're just so cute. Look at this. Too funny. So let's see what else we can get. That's another. I've got several envelopes of those. Alright, so these are some fun ones. This is a card. It looks like a hand of cards. Poker hand or whatever. And of course it opens up. If I were just in your good graces, my Valentine. It says, I'd feel that I held all the aces if I was in your good graces. This one's cute. They've got some in a couple of these piles that are where it's the movable ones. Give me the signal that you'll be my Valentine. And then, I don't know if I can do it with one hand. Can I do it? No? Yes? Let's see. Hopefully. Yeah, I can. Pushes. You push it up and he smiles. Another card themed one. Boy die cast. That's sweet. And of course they've got the kickstands, little pop out stands. So you can put them up on your mantle or on your dresser or whatever and just kind of, again, I'm not real good with one hand. I'm actually pretty left-handed, even though I'm right-handed, but you wouldn't know. I got at least 2 of these in there. These are the honeycomb pieces. Let's see, I can spread this one out so you can see it a little bit. Well, I'm not real good at one hand today. I'm usually better at it than this, but let's see. There we go. Of course, it goes all the way back and sits as a centerpiece on your table. And then this one is cute. It says pull. Let's see. With this token I impart all the love that's in my heart. Cupid's bring you my decree. You're the only one for me. And let's see if we can get it to do what we want it to do. I may have to stop it and start it. Here we go. Let's see. Let they go. They will if I'm not holding them both down. Let's see. Anyway, you pull it and then they pull into the center there. That's sweet. To my Valentine. I used to love to get Valentines. Give them too. I used to love that in school. Well, let's dig some more. This was just a big old lot. He didn't even have a price on that. I think he just made me a price on the rest of it. On that one, if I remember right, I'd have to look back. But it's got bits and pieces of all kinds of paper that may or may not get recycled through the eBay system or whatever. But I think that's a bank envelope. That's cool. Well, not a bank envelope, but it's a bank advertising. Let's see what we've got in here. I don't even know. He said, I've got a bunch more, and it's about this many pieces. I said, I'll take them, because I knew the quality he had already. Apparently, this has been a craft item for somebody. I love the old illustrations and old graphics. They're just... I love them. What's this? See what you are. I live outside of Memphis. We've got artesian water here. Some of the best water in the country, actually. So why buy bottled? I have no idea why people buy bottled water up here. That one's $75. Let's It's not very old compared to some of this other stuff, but some of this type of stuff people in Memphis like. I like to put it on Marketplace first and see if there's any buyers for it out there. You never know. They might say, oh, that's my mom. There's one from Jackson. Postcard type things. That one's thin. Very thin, actually. Wouldn't that have been funny if that was W.C. Fields? That would have been cool. What's this one? I really need to hold the camera in my left hand, don't I? Happy New Year. Let's try that. I'll cut you off trying to switch you. Let's see. Musical card type things. Some more Jackson stuff. So he must have bought out a Jackson estate or something. Or somebody did. Some more cards. What's this? Map. Oh, okay. I thought it was a map. Now, this type stuff, I usually will just throw it in a junk lot and see if people want it with their junk journal stuff. Any of the, like the Georgia State Park stuff, things like that. Looks like a bookmark. Posted bookmark. That's cool. That doesn't look cut, so that's probably what that was. Some are written on, some are not. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. This is actually a silhouette of who? It says, now wait a minute, Professor somebody Auburn. That's interesting. Yeah, it's on a cabinet card. But that's actually that's not drawn on. Some photos. Photo postcards, actually, see? Some newer ones. He said it was a big variety. 'Tis the season to be jolly. See, these are the ones I love. That's so pretty. Goopity goop, goopity goop, goopity goop. Don't know what that's supposed to say. Trying to see if there's anything kind of different. Got several photos in here. Some type of pier area, maybe. And that looks like the lock going up. Beachside, wonder where that is. So, Hat and Basket Market, Nassau. That's cool. Bahamas looks a little different now, huh? Wow. Look at them all up under those umbrellas. How cool is that? That's so funny. Very cool. Few little stamps. As you can see, I'm in a flannel shirt. It's still cool here. And we're in the South. What's wrong with that? It was 70 the other day. Then it's 50 today. And then it'll be 72 later. Contentment. So that's that lot. That'll be fun to look through. I gotta get Michelle over here, my friend, get her to slide some of these in some of the protection sleeves once I get those ordered. I wanted to kind of see what sizes of things. I knew the postcard size would need to be ordered, but I wasn't sure about the other stuff. So that's some of those. Let's see what else we got. Well, a few other things. I got one from a lot from a different vendor that was on there. He had kind of a Cub Scout type of lot, Boy Scout. Got this shirt. It has several of the Merit pins on it. There. Patch. Sometimes it kind of depends. It's better to sell just the patch. Somebody might want just the patch. Depends on how old the shirt is and all of that. You could just take the patch off, sell it separately. Let's see what this one is. This is older. This is a sanforized one. I don't know. Sanforized. I'm tired today. Can you tell? So that's an older one. So I'll have to I knew it felt like it, but you know, I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it because it was a Boy Scout lot, and I got it shipped and everything. I got that and several other things for $30, so it wasn't bad. He had these in there. It was the slides. Several of the family living, hiking, first aid. What else do we have? Camping. So there were several of those. And we had these. If I can get these open, hang on. Again, one-handed. I wasn't prepped, was I? I'll stop. Let me open it up. There, that's better. It had several of the patches. Campery. Scoutorama. I've got a friend that does a lot of scouting things. I thought I'd run it past him and he could run it past some of his folks because he's a reseller too. And see if there's any interest in it before I try to list anything. Always better to sell outright. If you have a buyer on it, get it to move. Even if it's at half of what I would list on eBay, I'd end up making some money. So that's those. Same vendor also sold me a lot of these. These are the, let's see if does that one have a lead in it? I don't know if it does or not. Maybe one of these does, yeah. See the lead? There. These are the old telephone pencils. You'd see these on secretary desk, and a lot of the phones would have the little slot that you would put it beside it. Several of these are Stick brand, S-T-I-K brand, which sell a little bit better, but I think I got this whole lot for like $10 shipped. He also sent me several of the bullet pens. Let's see if I can get this open. Don't tell me I might have to open it again. Yeah. There we go. This has the advertising and things on it. Like this one is Balfreeze Drugstore, California. Edison Chemical Company, Joplin, Missouri. Davco. That one has the pocket holder. Admiration, Dunkin's Admiration Coffee, a coupon with every pound the whole year round. Dodson Insurance Group. Let's see these. They all open differently, but I think they open on the end on these. Let's see. They may be shut to where I have to have two hands to open it. Probably. But anyway, that pulls off, and then you've got your eraser on the other end. But see, they all look like little bullets. So, that one's from, where's this one? Kansas. That's a grain feed livestock. So a lot of these things, you know, on the You know, the people that collect pens and pencils would want something like this. Also, the ones, if it's a dairy farm, I'd have a crossover on that. Or if it came from the insurance industry, a small crossover there. Crossover on some of the chemical or pharmaceutical ones, you know, things like that. So those are, sorry, I cut that off, I think. Also, from the first guy, I got a couple of big stacks of these. These are the postcards, scenic folder postcards, you know, the ones that fold out. And then it's got all the postcards inside. And all of these are unwritten on, pretty much. There's a handful of them, I think, that have been written on. But most of these are not written on, and they haven't been posted or anything like that. But like the Boston Beans, what else do we have? Hannibal, Missouri, Hollywood, World's Fair, Boston, Massachusetts. Don't you love how colorful they are? They're just so pretty. Key West Extension, of course, that's got a train crossover on it. And the other one had the World's Fair one, you know. They have people that's going to want them for different reasons. Some will sell better than others. Some are just kind of so I'll probably put those together. Silver Springs, I don't think that's still open, is it? Hasn't been in years. What else we got in here? Omaha, Texas. You know, not huge money, but more than what I spent. So, decently more than what I spent. Highway 40, I like that. That's neat. So I got that. Then my biggest buy. Let's see if we can switch hands here. Sorry. Camera work's not great, I know. But hey, I'm making a video, so, you know. I've been lax on that lately. Let's see if we can get these out of the way so you can see what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you all of these, but I also purchased a lot of about 700 of these. I did one lot first that was a lot of 20. And he sent them to me, didn't even charge me for them. These are all hand done, all hand drawn. They're probably art student project pieces, you know, from class and things like that. But I mean, the detail is amazing on these things. And you can't even feel it on the back. You can see it indented, but you can't, you know, it's just amazing, some of the detail that's on these. But I got around 700 of those. I had bought the 20 and said, oh yeah, I love these. Do you have any more of these? And he said, I've got hundreds of them. And he said, I bought a whole bunch of them. I said, I'd be interested possibly in all of them, depending on the price. Well, I got 692 of them for $400. And I said, sold. Probably a good third of these, maybe a little bit more, are nudes, which obviously I'm not going to show. That would be something that I can sell. I don't commonly sell things like that. I don't get into selling the Playboy and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of these are just so beautiful. They just really are. But it's not something that I could just put on any of my eBay stores. So I would probably have to list this a little bit differently. Not these. There's a lot of these in here. There's some of the gymnastics. Nadia Comaneci is in here. I mean, there's several things that, you know, are of the time. These are all done in the 60s, late 60s, and early 70s. Some of them are dated, some are not. They're not signed, as far as he knows, but he didn't go through every one of them. So I'm going to hope that there's at least one in there that they signed. I have no clue why somebody wouldn't sign their work if they're this good. But I mean, just look at that. That looks like it's moving. It's just amazing. Amazing detail on these things. Beautiful work. Got people talking to me. They're wanting me to bid on stuff, I guess. just, I mean, just the movement that's in these is just amazing to me. Look at this dance one. Flapper. I love that. I may end up keeping that one. I just like that one. The Roaring Twenties. Sorry, I probably have to bleep that one out. Michelle Lee. Bathing Beauties. It's got a couple of them down in there of a girl doing a hula hoop. You know, so it's things that are of the time. So those are some of the things I got. I've also got some Christmas things, so I'll pull those out real quick and show you those. The reason that I bought this one, this is one of the old Santas. It's from the 60s. I can get a pretty decent price for him. He's two-sided. And then it also had two of the Anna Lee. This one's a 1990. And this one has the hang tag, and it's a 92. They usually sell pretty decently, so I always look for them. They've got very distinctive faces on these, little hand-painted faces. I haven't looked up a price on them or anything like that, but I didn't pay very much for the auction. This one was actually a true auction instead of a buy it now like I did on the other things. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I've bought a lot of stuff again today. This was shipments that came in at the tail end of last week. This is a Monday morning, and I've already bought 5 or 6 different lots that'll be coming in over the next few days. In fact, I've got one box out of about 4 of them that weighs 34 pounds. It's full of all kinds of paper things, canceled checks from the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. I've got all kinds of stuff in there, so it's going to be fun going through them, and I'll do some more videos like this. If you ever see anything that you're interested in, you can always shoot me a message, or you can email me at gotjunkinourtrunk@yahoo.com, and it will come straight to me, and we will work out a deal on it. I'd love to give you a little discount on anything that I would be normally listing on eBay. I would love to sell to some of my viewers. So, also, I'm tossing around doing some online auctions on my live auctions on my YouTube channel. If you'd be interested in that, just let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. Hope y'all are having a great day, and hopefully this quarantine will end soon so we can all get out and start digging again. Happy junking.